Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, there is so much talk about ratings in NASCAR. There's so much talk about, I thought the playoffs were supposed to help the ratings, but the ratings keep going down. Okay, whatever. In 2025, TV is different than it was in 1995, in 2005. So, here's the idea I came up with. Going head-to-head with the NFL on Sundays obviously isn't working well. We see the, quote, regular season, first 26 races, have better ratings than with the last 10 races. Is it the playoffs system? 20 years into a chase/playoff, we've had this exact same format since 2017. A lot in TV has changed since then. Do we, 1, scrap the playoffs? 2, do we modify the playoffs? 3, do we keep the playoffs? We've all heard Steve O'Donnell on Dale Jr. Download. We've all heard people within the industry on the playoff committee, Denny Hamlin, etc. We know there's going to be a change in 2026. We just know there is. I personally like the playoffs, and I'll tell you why. It gives us more storylines to talk about. And I know some people have said, and I was listening to Door Bumper Clear and listening to Freddie Kraft, who I do respect. I'm a Bubba Wallace fan, Freddie fan as well. Does it take away from the win when we're talking about 12th place in the playoff cut line and whatnot, and you erase all these points, and then you got the resets, and then you had the whole thing with William Byron and Ty Dillon at Vegas, and if that affects Byron getting to Phoenix, is that fair? He is the, quote, points leader if we have no playoffs, which no one races with that mindset, but okay, I'll with you. I would rather talk about that versus the fucking goddamn Winston Cup points. And if I offended you there, that's fine. I don't care. I don't want to hear about the fucking Winston Cup points in 2025. We want to talk about the points without, it's on RacingReference.com, the points without playoffs. We can talk about that all day long. We can just have a debate on that. Currently, William Byron's tied with Kyle Larson. Here's my only problem with that right now. William Byron is not in the top 6 in wins. He is not in the top 5 in wins. He's not in the top 5s. He's not in the top 5 of top 10s. He's not in the top 4 of average finish. The only stat that he's in the top 4 of is one stat, that point stat. Yes, point. And he's consistent. You got to have some of these other stats that guys like a Chase Briscoe, guys like a Kyle Larson, don't like him, but I can respect what his stats are, what the actual stats are. So I'm going to solve 2 problems today for NASCAR. This first video is going to solve the schedule, the ratings. The second problem is going to solve the points in the playoff. So stay tuned for that one. Check that out. But for the schedule, the ratings that everyone complains about in the fall, let's just completely redo the schedule. Have it right here. I've actually emailed this to NASCAR, and I've actually sent it on X Messenger to a few people within the industry as well. And I've been waiting I may have a response from which may or may not ever see, but now I'm going to announce it to you all. Okay, we begin the season in January. January 11th, mind you. So January 11th, January 18th, January 25th. Yes, we have NFL playoffs during that time, but here's the difference. Typically, the NFL playoffs, there's 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. They start at 3 and 7. We start these races at 1 o'clock or noon Central Standard Time. So Central Time, the football starts at 3 and 7. We start the race at noon. Now, if we're in Vegas and we start at noon Central Time, we're talking 10 a.m. That's a little early on the West Coast for a NASCAR race. But would that race get better ratings at noon Central Time on a Sunday when football starts at 3 than it would going against head-to-head with the football during football season? So we're basically having the race before football starts or head-to-head with football, which is going to get better ratings. So January 11th, and these dates are based on 2026 calendar, mind you. We go to Vegas. We can bring the Xfinity Series as well, or we can bring the ARCA West as well and do a triple header. The following week, we go to Phoenix. Same thing. We start at noon Central Time. We start before the football games start. And then on the 25th, which is the I believe that would be championship weekend for the NFL Conference Championship weekend. Those games are on Sunday. We could run this on Saturday. We could do a doubleheader on Saturday with Xfinity, or we can do it still running at noon. We're doing it in San Diego at the Naval Base, or we could do it. We could still make it where it's pretty much over before football starts. Then the following week is where we could do the Clash now on February 1st. We can still go to Bowman Gray for the Clash. We can go somewhere else for the Clash. I really don't care. Honest opinion would be, in this schedule, I have an all-star race. My initial thought, if I was doing the control, we take the Clash, we take the all-star race. 37-point races, one all-star exhibition race. You do kind of the format we do now, but you do, if you won a race in the last year and you won a pole, you automatically qualify to the A main. Anybody that's automatically qualified to the A main, you have to run. You're divided up into 3 heat races, or 2 heat races, to see for qualified for the A main. Everyone else goes to a B main. The top 2 finishers in the B main transfer to the A main. Everyone else goes home. But everybody runs heat races for qualifying. So either if you're already in the A main or you're in the B main, you're going to run 2 heat races to set inside line, outside line for A or B main. You run the B main, top 2 transfer to the A main. The A main is the winners and the pole winners from the previous year. But in this schedule, it's going to have both. So on the 1st, we go to Bowman Gray for the Clash. Obviously, the next weekend is Super Bowl weekend. We take that weekend off. We hit Daytona, which technically is race 4 of the year. NASCAR has started Daytona, or has had Daytona not the first race of the year quite a few times. There was a point in time back in the 60s where the season started in November after the season ended. Like 2 weeks later, the next season started. Or they started in January. Up until 1982, they started in January at Riverside. Ran Riverside 3 times in a year. So it has been done before. It's nothing just out of this world. You go to Atlanta, Texas, COTA. Now, this is the first unique one. We do Martinsville on Thursday, March 12th, and Sunday, March 15th. So, we get back from COTA. We load up for Martinsville. We go to Martinsville on a Thursday. We roll in Thursday morning, run through tech. We can do a practice and qualifying session, or we can just set off the metric, either or we could get rid of the metric and do owner points like we used to back in the day. Either or is fine. We run a 400-mile race under the lights on a Thursday night in Martinsville. You run trucks on Friday, Xfinity Saturday, Cup on Sunday. So 4 days, 4 races, 2 Cup races, Xfinity and truck. You can even add an ARCA East in there, and you add mods in there as well. A lot of people like to camp, and I know camping is a big part for a lot of people. So this gives you an extra day, Thursday, to go into Martinsville for a race and camp. You camp 4 days. Versus running a Wednesday night race where people are not going to want to go camp for one night and go somewhere else. You get there Thursday morning, you get your campsite set up, you're there until Sunday night and Monday. So you get 2 Martinsville races there. Go to North Wilkesboro, go to Talladega, Easter weekend off. I know a lot of people want that. That's cool. I'm good with that. But then we go to Darlington and do the exact same thing at Darlington. Thursday night, April 9th, we go to Darlington, 400-mile race under the lights. Friday truck, Saturday Xfinity, Sunday your second Darlington race, 500-mile race. In the daylight, you can go day to night, however how you want to do it. I know I'm taking this Southern 500, that's what this would be, out of Labor Day weekend. There's a reason for that. There is a downfall to this schedule, and that is the one downfall that I have. Unless, spoiler, we make Darlington Southern 500 this season, the finale. I have the schedule of the season ending at Labor Day weekend. If you want Darlington as your finale every single year, leave the Southern 500 on Labor Day weekend. I'm all for that. I just kind of went with Homestead being the finale. Then we go to Sonoma. We get back from Sonoma. We do the All-Star race at Kentucky. And I say that because, one, is the All-Star race is an SMI track. I think Dover for the All-Star race is stupid. Unless you prove me wrong, NASCAR, please, dear God, prove me wrong. But bring Kentucky back for the All-Star race. I think that'd be hella fun with this car. Then we go up to Indianapolis. We do something similar to Indianapolis. Thursday, April 30th. Cup Series. Lucas Oil Raceway, IRP. Now, this would mean that NASCAR would have to give up a date, or either SMI or NASCAR would give up a date. I think in my thing, I took a date from Phoenix, so SMI would basically move a Phoenix date to IRP, kind of like they moved the Texas date to Dakota. And then they would run the race there at IRP on Thursday Night Thunder. If we could sign ESPN for one race, that would be fucking awesome. And then Friday night, Truck Series at IRP. Saturday, we take the an Xfinity Series to the Overhaul, or we can leave Xfinity at IRP too. I'm fine with that. But do the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Oval the beginning of May, right before Speed Weeks for the Indy 500. We go to Bristol, Dover. We're almost Memorial Day weekend now. We do the same thing at Charlotte as we just did at Darlington and at Martinsville. Show up. My first thought would be Wednesday. We show up to Charlotte, pole qualifying, do the pit road challenge, do all that on Wednesday night, do the duels or something crazy on Wednesday night. Thursday, we run a 400-mile race at the Charlotte Oval Thursday night. Friday, truck. Saturday, ARCA and Xfinity. And then Sunday, the Memorial Day weekend Classic. We end it with the Coca-Cola World 600. So 4 races, even 5 races in 4 days. 2 races at the Charlotte Oval in 4 days. Then we go to Richmond, Watkins Glen. We go to Nashville. Now, with Nashville, we know SMI is working on... So the IRP would be NASCAR, take away from Phoenix from NASCAR. And then so SMI, we need to take the Bristol Spring Race. I know some people don't like that, but some people do. Move it to Nashville Fairgrounds. Nashville Fairgrounds on a Thursday night, July 11th, or June 11th, June 14th, Sunday at the Oval Nashville Super Speedway. Then we go to Pocono, the end of June, 28th of June, an off week. Give everybody in the industry a break. Now, if we have a playoff, we would do the regular season finale, race 26 of the season, at Daytona. Ironically, July 4th weekend. That was one of those, as I'm writing the dates down and figuring out what track I want where, I was like, I want a playoff, so I would put that as the regular season finale. And it fell on, so just happenstance, it fell on July 4th weekend. So everyone, we would get the July 4th weekend Daytona race back. We could do it on July 4th if we want. We could do it the night of July 4th. We want to watch fireworks. We could do it the night of July 4th. Have a hellacious fireworks display afterwards. We could do it on that Saturday the 5th. Whatever we want to do, we have Daytona July 4th. But unless we make the Southern 500 the finale every year, we lose the Southern 500 on Labor Day weekend. Happenstance. That's all this ends up being. But if we have a playoff, we would the regular season finale at Daytona. We start the playoffs. We do the same thing. We do a Thursday night and a Sunday at Kansas, and then we end the first round at Worldwide Technology in St. Louis. So now for the haulers, you got 2 Kansas races and then St. Louis. So you're kind of still in the Midwest. You're not. Yeah, you're a little far from Charlotte, but you're not clear across the country. You're kind of halfway. Then we do Chicagoland, New Hampshire, Iowa. Michigan, Talladega, and Vegas is the round of 8. And then your championship race would be at Homestead on Labor Day weekend. So you're not going head-to-head with the NFL, the big elephant in the room when it comes to sports. If we do a playoff, there you go. The playoff format would go as this. If you win in the regular season, you're in. I know a lot of people don't like that, so I'm not dead set on the playoffs. Here's what I want when I do the points, I'll be more in depth than that. Is I want stats to matter. Wins, top 5s, top 10s. I want those to matter. And I think I figured out a way to do that. So what's the next video for that? But if we do a playoff, you win and you're in. So you have top 15 in points and win and you're in. So if you are 22nd in points, SVG, you're in the playoffs. Here's the thing. Top 15 points, plus any additional winners. So this year was 18 total. You run 3 races. So in this scenario, Kansas, Worldwide Technology in St. Louis. The top 12 move on. No reset, no win and move on. Only way you move on was with points. So you do the reset, you run those 3 races, and you move on. Top 12 move on. You run Chicago, New Hampshire, Iowa. Top 8 move on. You run Michigan, Talladega, Vegas. Your top 4 move on. Now, when we get to Homestead, your top 4 points that moved on. You do a reset. Take all them playoff points we've earned. Boom, we add them to it. So the only reset is to start the playoffs, to start the championship race. You have 4 people in the championship race, separated by whatever your playoff points are. Now, mathematically, is it possible for somebody, once we do that reset at the end for the championship race, to clinch the championship? Yeah, it is technically possible. As somebody who doesn't want to see a championship, who likes the playoffs because I don't want to see a championship clinched early, would I be okay with that? Yes. Because what we have done here, we have taken the chase that people liked, because a lot of people said if we have to have a playoff, let's have the chase. This is the chase plus elimination with elimination plus playoff point. I mean, it's kind of everything combined there to me. So I think that would be the way to go. Once again, stay tuned for the next video of the playoff structure and the point structure and how that would work. Very interesting. Wins mean more. Top 5 mean more. Top 10s mean more. If you have issues, you'll take a bigger hit than you would now. Now, if you run 11th in both stages, get no stage points, the most points you can earn is 40. And the last place, you earn 1. So you got a 40-point difference. Even if you win both stages, 61 points is the max you can win. 60 points is the difference. Spoiler! 190 is the difference in my point format from first to last. Big numbers. Anyway, stay tuned for that. But the revamped schedule, January through Labor Day, no head-to-head with the NFL. Do you think that would help ratings? Just an idea. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content. Make sure you stay tuned for that new point structure. Have a good day.